Hi, it is Alicia from aliciacarlson.com. I wanted to talk to you about kind of coming up for air every once in a while if you find yourself just being kind of completely submerged in mom life or work life or whatever season of life that you find yourself in. I am an extrovert by nature, but I'm also pretty committed to crushing the goals that I set for myself, whether that's fitness, work, or otherwise. And I want to show up as a mom, as a wife, as a business owner, and a coach with excellence. I want to do these things well. I want to do the things that I feel I was put on this earth to do well. And if I have any inclination of what you might be like, I think that's probably you too. You wear all of these different hats and you want to show up and you want to do it all well, but sometimes we just get kind of submerged in the day to day and we forget to come up for air. We forget to make time for the girls, or we forget to make time to just not be kind of in mommy mode or in hustle mode or whatever. And sometimes the intensity that I bring towards reaching my goals can get in the way of me being able to have those close relationships that I want, that I long for. Me really throwing myself into motherhood early on with my daughter taught me a lot. I feel like I was so focused on being a good mom because I felt like that was something I didn't really have. And I didn't want to make the same mistakes with her that I felt like were made with me, that I put too much energy into who I was as a mom. And I didn't put enough energy into who I was as Alicia, who I was as a daughter of the king, who I was as a wife, or who I was with all of these other dreams and these visions and these desires that I had. But last week, I guess it was last week, it was right around the first of the year, I got to go to a vision board party. And that in and of itself, creating a vision board was pretty exciting, but it was nice to just be with some other women that were like me, that were like-minded, that were kind of putting some of their dreams and their goals and their aspirations down on this piece of cardboard. But it was nice to just kind of share those things, kind of talk about our aspirations and the things that we wanted for ourselves this year. And that really reminded me how important it is to be in community with other women, but how important it is to be in community with other women that are like-minded, that are working on improving themselves too, that want to support you, that want to build you up. They don't want to create competition. Instead, they really want to be unified and create community, create that connection where we can cheer each other on. I know a lot of girls or a lot of women that I hear talking to, and I think this might have even been myself, is they're like, oh, I never really had girlfriends growing up because we didn't like the drama. I mean, that's realistic. That's understandable. But at some point, I think we have to decide that instead of just avoiding other women because we don't like the drama, that we actually want to create change. I feel like with my daughter, I'm kind of always coaching her through that because unfortunately, as much as we've evolved as people since I was a kid, which, I mean, it feels like a long time, but it wasn't really that long ago, not much with women relationships, women to women relationships has changed. Sure, you can get into the circles that are really into personal development or really into improving themselves. And I think the more you get into those communities, the less competition you feel. But I think that the mainstream messaging is still the same, is that women are supposed to be in competition with one another. And unfortunately, one of the biggest ways that we are seen as being better than another woman is based on how our body looks, or based on how put together and how like Pinterest perfect our lifestyle looks, or our life looks, when underneath we might be a wreck. So I want to invite you, if you feel like you have a hard time connecting with other women, I want you to explore a little bit, maybe your past experiences. Do you feel like you are approaching those relationships either feeling like you are better than the other women because your life is better, because your body is better, because of whatever? Or do you feel like you have a hard time connecting with them because you don't feel good enough? You don't feel like you really and truly belong in that circle. And so you have a hard time letting people in. That change really starts with you, right? You can't control what somebody else thinks of you. You can't control what somebody else thinks of themselves. All you get to control is what you think of yourself and how you show up in each and every circumstance. But in order to even have those experiences, you have to come up for air every once in a while. You have to put mom duties kind of on the back burner. You have to put work away. You have to put yourself in those situations where you can connect with other women. Maybe you sign up for a new workout class, and so you can get around kind of some of that positive energy. Or maybe you sign up for a meetup and you connect with some other women that have an interest the same as you. Granted, this maybe does or doesn't directly correlate with fitness or nutrition, but it's all the same idea of creating that accountability, creating that community for yourself. And you might find that you will then start to pursue some of those goals together. But the biggest message here, I think, is yes, creating community, but creating that community without competition. You don't want to be amongst other women that are just sitting around complaining about how bad their life sucks or gossiping about other people. You want to put yourself in a community where you are surrounded by other women who are basically too worried about watering their own grass, taking care of their own yard, to even understand or recognize what's happening in somebody else's yard. And that's not from a place of selfishness, but it's from a place of just recognizing that you worrying about what somebody else is or isn't, or what they are or are not doing, is not getting you any closer to your goals. So if you're struggling to find that community, don't lose heart. It is out there. If you want some help kind of getting plugged into some of those communities, please do reach out. I would love to see if I can help you find that community for yourself. And at the end of the day, just kind of recognizing that we all need community. We thrive in that. Even if you feel like you're an introvert, you will still find other people that are introverted like you, that maybe just want to sit together and read and, maybe talk or something like that. But the bottom line is that you have to be willing to put yourself out there. And so I want you to, when you're thinking about creating that accountability system for yourself or finding that community, I want you to start thinking about your dreams, your desires, your aspirations. I want you to push yourself to try something new. Maybe take a class that you've been interested in for a while that you just haven't given the time to. Sign up for that new fitness class, or take that cooking class, or get on a meetup with a hiking group, or whatever the interest is. Whatever way that you can kind of incorporate some of those healthy lifestyle changes that you want to make and put yourself into community with other like-minded women is going to be a big win. So look for that healthy place for accountability. Get out there, push yourself outside of your comfort zone. And if you find yourself feeling insecure or feeling like you're too good for other people, then that is some work that you need to sit with and you need to do internally. Like I said, reach out to me if you want to get connected to a group. I'll see if I can help you kind of find that accountability or brainstorm some ideas. I will put all of my contact information in the description box below. So go ahead and check that out if you want to connect with me further. If you know somebody that would benefit from this message of community over competition when it comes to our fitness goals or otherwise, please do share this. Also, be sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell so that you are notified when new videos are live. Hope you have a great rest of your day. I can't wait to see what you do with this one wild, crazy, and beautiful life that you've been given. Until next time, have a great day.